Hello everyone and welcome back to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. Last time out we got the trial extended for more than one day, and we found out Edgeworth is a pretty decent attorney. So, hopefully, I believe we are back with Phoenix Wright today. And he's been in his bed. I'm still up at this hour reading through the trial record of a certain case. It's the first case my mentor, Mia Fey, ever handled in a court of law. The horrifying truth that I refuse to accept is holding me hostage here within its pages. It's been a week, I'm rusty. Dahlia Hawthorne. What I have read, I don't want to believe. What's written here, this isn't the Dahlia I knew. And falling into Eagle River, I was somehow miraculously saved. I ended up catching a cold that seemed to knock me around the world and back. Been there. Feel dizzy, my ears are ringing, my throat burns, and my head is on fire. Doesn't look it. You wear it well. But I will recover. I have to recover by this afternoon. I have to meet with the most ill-tempered witness imaginable. But I know that he will be able to help me with him. Somehow. And off to the races we go, to Dusky Bridge. Right. Are you sure you're well enough to be able to do this? You still look a little green in the face.
Or maybe Viridian, in how to speak.
Actually, my fever's gone down quite a bit.
And how's your temperature now?
Only 102.2 degrees. Nothing to worry about. See, now, to me, I'm assuming that's in... You're 102, that's pretty warm. Like, I'm assuming it's talking in Fahrenheit and not degrees Celsius. Because I'm pretty sure 102 degrees Celsius would be boiling. As in, you'd be over the thing to boil water. Copious amounts of coughing. Anyway, I read today's trial record. You weren't bad, Edgeworth. Pretty impressive despite the circumstances. You're not in the clear yet. The main point of contention is tomorrow. The main point of contention tomorrow is going to be the murder weapon. Yeah. In the end, the Shigashito did not deliver the deadly blow. Which means there must be another sword hiding out there that we don't know about. Another sword?
You don't worry about a thing, pal. I'll dig up the murder weapon myself or I'll eat my coat.
Thanks again, Edgeworth. I'll handle things from here. It always looks weird when he pulls that smile off. That is probably for the best. Actually, I was thinking about paying the old precinct a little visit. There's something I want to look into. And that is... our client's background, naturally.
Hey, you mean Iris, sir?
I have a feeling that we've met before. All I want is confirmation, one way or another. And since I probably won't be getting that from you... I'm sorry, Edgeworth. I bid you adieu, Wright. Take care.
Yeah, I guess I should get moving too, pal.
Why? Do you need to be somewhere?
Yeah. I gotta go to work on this bridge, pal. I'm rigging something so we can get across to the other side.
Ah, that's right. Maya's still stuck in the inner temple.
Yeah, but don't you worry, pal. Soon as it's all set, you'll be the first to know.
Thanks, Gumshoe. And copious amounts of coughing.
Yeah, no problem, pal. Just try to give... Just not...
Try that again.
Just try to not give me that cough of yours, okay? Alright, I'm off.
Why would he be off? He's gonna be right here, fixing something. Hang in there, Maya. We'll get you out, I promise. In the meantime, I've got to continue collecting evidence. And we've got to examine everything over again because it's Phoenix and not Edgeworth. Beautiful. That thing looks like it's ready to collapse, at least more than it did before. According to Bikini, Eagle Mountain is very prone to earthquakes. Which reminds me, if my memory serves me correctly, Edgeworth isn't exactly a fan of earthquakes. Yeah, he doesn't like, well, because being trapped in an elevator will do that to you. Now it's really more of a dusty bridge than a dusky bridge. That kidnapping incident happened here 11 years ago, so maybe it's cursed too. Telephone? Azakura Temple doesn't have a single private phone line. There aren't any houses in the area, so I guess Bikini's the only one who uses this. I really wish I had brought my cell phone with me. Okay, now that's stupid. You had more than opportunity to do it this time. Looks like it's about 20 yards off to that cliff over there. I can't see the inner temple from here. Really hope Maya's okay. There's a narrow path going on a different direction than that of the main hall. Looks like someone's taken the effort to write to Heavenly Hall on the signpost. Something tell me that's going to be one certain Larry. Oh, we did yeah, we did. Okay. Let's go to Heavenly Hall before we go to the main gate. Looks like no one's here. Larry? Larice? I'm sure I'd be hiding somewhere. Maybe I'll try again later. Well, we can do a bit of examining while we're here, just to, you know, get it out of the way. That's Dusky Bridge up there. It's amazing how clearly you can see it from so far away. Larry supposedly saw everything through the shack's window. Not much light gets down here, so it must be pitch black at night. This area was probably illuminated that night because of the burning bridge above. That stuff is really ruining the beautiful atmosphere around here. Agreed. I don't mind seeing flags of different countries, but you know, it does really ruin the decor. So inappropriate. Like Sister Bikini in a bikini. Ugh. I've got to think of the kittens. Don't know what that means, but okay. These steps lead up to the foot of Dusky Bridge. Coming down is a cinch, but going back up doesn't look like a walk in the park. I don't understand why rivers always want to flow downstream, not up. Well, that'd just be gravity. It's the famous Eagle River. I got to try out its rough rapids the other night. They say it has a really strong current. And they weren't kidding. It's both powerful and fast-flowing. I was dead lucky. I mean, lucky not to be dead. To be fair to Larry, you've got to give it to him. He did his self-portrait and portrait of Iris are pretty on point. Maybe he actually is a decent artist. Look at this graffiti scrawled right on the front of the shack. At least he managed to get a pretty good likeness. When I really think about it, I guess art kind of suits him. I mean, his very existence is an art of sorts. Okay. Hopefully one more and we can actually get to the main gate. The snow is really piled up on the straw roof. It's otherworldly, like something out of a fairy tale. Well, the roof part anyway. The sign says Heavenly Hall. Guess it's pretty fitting. You spend a night in this little freezing shack, you'd probably find yourself at the pearly gates by morning. Okay, and I believe that is everything, so now you can go back to the suspension, or to the main gate, sorry. It's weird. I've been talking. Weird. As soon as that we did that thing about the about this gate, I think it was the last one got uploaded where Phoenix fell. The was it the Baltimore bridge that just collapsed? And that is mad. How just one little dink. Obviously, it's a massive ship, so it's not just a little dink, but just, you know, how fragile like certain like structures can be. It's always mad how it just like seems the ship just veers into one of the posts and it seems to like hit it and then it all just comes crumbling down. It's a shame, really. Okay, and I have to. I'm gonna guess this is Larry. Come on, please. It's for art's sake, I swear. There's only one guy I know who could be this persistent and high-strung. I'm talking about the heroine here. The heroine in my book. It'll make you famous. Ah! Damn it, I forgot Francisca's voice. Enough. A fool's fool, fools who foolishly accept the foolishness of a fool's fool. Wouldn't you agree, Phoenix Wright? Huh? Me? Wait a second, I know you. You're a... Ow! Your reflexes of mine need to shape up. My brain's frying like a sunny side up and you want to grill me over a name? Franzi, you can't do that. Even as we speak, Nick's on the brink of death. Or, so I'm told. Whip a dead horse. Isn't that one of your American sayings? No, it's not. I'm not on the brink of anything. Come on, Nick. Tell her, would you? Tell her she needs to model for my new picture book, Francie's Whippity Whip Trip. Ah! Before you ask me to model, learn to give at least semi-coherent testimony. Before that, you'll have to learn how to live with a semi-coherent life, Larry. Well, damn. I guess everyone's just slamming into him today. I don't care what anyone says. I'm telling the truth. I saw what I saw. She flew, I'm telling you. Whoosh. Just like that dude with the red underwear. Don't think I'm gonna forgive you guys when you come crawling back to apologize. Off he goes. Howdy. It's amazing how little has changed with you in the past year, Phoenix Wright. Cheers, Francisca. Good to see you too. This is one impressive gate. Compared to the grandeur of the main gate at the Von Calmer estate, it's but a pet door. Looks really idyllic with all that snow on it, don't you think? All that snow? Don't make me laugh. This is but a light dusting. This is but a light dusting where I come from. Don't make things up just because you think I'll never get to see it for myself. I mean, it's Germany. They do sometimes get bad weather, but it's not that bad. You can see the main hall from here. I wonder how the head nun is holding up. Oh, wow. Is that an inkling of human kindness I sense? Ow! You enjoy causing other people pain with that sharp tongue of yours? Nothing compared to the pain you cause with that leathery whip of yours. Yeah, the lacerations. I'm surprised you've not been done for assault already. It's a quaint little bell tower. Never would have thought that something this horrible was about to happen. When Iris rang the bell for lights out that night. I'd love to know what that thing was used for on the night of the crime. Huh. Still thinking small, I see, Phoenix Wright. Or perhaps not at all. That's why you will never defeat me. Sorry to burst your bubble, but I don't ever recall losing to you. It's time for us to settle this once and for all, with one final showdown. Looks like she's mentally blocked out my victories over her from her memory. You know, not the best way to deal with loss, but I guess one way of dealing with it. Have you been in Germany all this time? That's right, extending my perfect win record, naturally. Oh joy, sounds like she hasn't changed a bit. Has it really been a year since we first met? I'm Francisca von Karma, the prodigy. I see. I gave up a promising career in Germany and came to this country for one sole reason. Revenge. Francisco was born and raised in Germany and became a prosecutor at the age of 13. My father was the legendary prosecutor Manfred von Karma. He had a perfect wing record for 40 long years, but now he's gone from this world. Is he dead? They kill him? And she's not at all bothered by that in the slightest sense? Are we just gonna drop that he's dead? Or gone from this world in a subtler sense, like he's in prison? Don't tell me you still hold a grudge against me because of what happened to your father.
Phoenix Wright, you will fall before me. This, I promise.
Depends on what. Depends on what, Francisca. I mean, if it's in court, you've not got a chance. If it's, you know, other things, because you've got really nice looking eyes. I could be willing to get down on, well, one knee at least. Maybe. Maybe. I don't mind Francisca. I think she's a soft, cuddly toy under that gruff exterior.
But it will have to be for my sake, not my father's, are we clear?
Yeah. Crystal.
In truth, I was shocked. I came back to America with the intention of defeating you. Instead, it was my little brother who was leading the defense.
Isn't Miles older than you? Edgeworth. Come to think of it. Edgeworth was pulled into being a prosecutor by Manfred von Karma as well.
Miles Edgeworth told me something very interesting, you know. He said this case has a special significance to you.
Because it does.
And that's precisely why I'm here. Your personal involvement will make crushing you into teensy-weensy pieces all the better.
Probably the fever, but she's so openly hostile that it's almost kind of cute. See? Phoenix and me on the same wavelength. Ow!
No smirking.
No whipping the sick.
That foolish fool doing such a foolish favor for such a foolishly foolish fool.
Edgeworth?
Make no mistake, Phoenix Wright. I came here for one thing and one thing only. To pulverize you.
It's not like I thought you were here to bring me some cold killer action, now.
I went over the whole case file on the flight over.
You read the whole thing?
Yes, every last word of every last sentence of every last paragraph.
Well, Germany to America is probably, what, at least? I've not flown over to America, so I don't know how long, but I'd assume about between 8 and 12 hours. It takes from about like Britain to Portugal. Takes probably around 2. I'm thinking the distance. I'm trying to equate the distance. I'd assume probably going off around 12 hours, which is a lot of reading time. I could probably knock out a book in 12 hours, depending on how, like, a decently thick book. Although I need to get back to reading. I've been slacking recently.
All these ridiculous things you did made it a very interesting read, you know. Pretending to cross a burning bridge, to even consider the dangers?
No. Not for one single solitary second. The only thought in my mind was, I have to get across. So you're an idiot.
A fool who doesn't think is more foolish than a fool who foolishly thinks.
She makes a good argument. Gumshoe said he'd let me know once the bridge was repaired. Maya, she's gotta be okay. I just know it. Plus, I need to ask her about what really happened at the Inner Temple that night. Question, Phoenix, was Pearl? I've just thought about that myself. I don't think I have to show her anything, do I? I don't believe I have to show her anything, but there seems to be something that missing. I guess she said talk to Bikini. So we'll go for everything first before we decide to do anything else. Ma? Oh, it's a... That was one long sigh. Sister Bikini?
My. I didn't know you were here. How are you doing?
You don't have to pretend to be in a good mood for my sake.
I suppose I've made a terrible mess of things, haven't I? I let Mystic Elise die and, well, then there's Iris as well.
Mystic Elise? Now that I think about it,
There's an acolyte stuck at the inner temple. And that poor little girl's gone missing too.
okay, so great, we've got 2 children missing. Oh well, technically Maya's not a child, but she's stupid enough to be a child. So that little girl? You don't mean Pearls, do you?
Yes, I'm afraid I do. She hasn't been seen since the morning after the incident.
Pearls? She's missing? Why didn't anyone tell me about this? Examine everything first. I've never seen a layout like this when I saw this really old Japanese movie on TV. Wow, the Hibachi Brazier really pulls out a lot of heat. Just thinking about how happy we were sitting here eating pot roast and gravy. I've just had my dinner, but I could still go for some food. Do not make me hungry. I bet there's writing on these sliding doors or instructions for spirit channeling. Kind of like how we scribbled math formulas on the bathroom walls to remember them. So we couldn't go to the bathroom during tests, and I can't read the walls. I think we had that last time. It's an altar. It looks a bit old, but someone does a good job of taking care of it. Speaking of altars, I remember seeing one like this in Korine Village last year. I guess they really do have something to do with spiritual power after all. Supposedly. There's a laughably large Magatama on the altar. I can see Cyclops with this tiny Magatama I've got. Imagine what I could do with the kind of power this bad boy has under its hood. I think that was one we had last time as well. A stack of straws Zabuton cushions. Maya told me these type of Zabuton are called Enza. I suppose I'd never come here. If I'd never come here, I'd have missed out on all these new things. Experience other cultures, they're fun. Anyway, we've got to talk to Sister Bikini about something.
I must be getting old. I think I've seriously lost faith in myself.
Are you talking about your performance at the trial today?
You believe me, don't you? I'm not a liar. I would never lie. I know what I saw. I saw Iris pull a sword from Mystic Elise's body that night. I'm certain of it. At least I was until this morning.
I don't see any Cyclops, so she must be telling the truth. So why are you so unsure of yourself all of a sudden?
You know that artist who testified after me?
I saw Iris flying, her white hood fluttering. Felt like I might start flying myself.
When I saw that man testify so fervently about something so impossible, I started to wonder if I'd acted just like him when I was on the witness stand.
I wouldn't take that guy too seriously. He's an artist, but all he draws is trouble, nothing else. Well, to be fair, he's a decent artist. Gotta give him credit. Both Bikini and Larry are telling the truth. That can only mean one thing. They both didn't see what they think they saw. Yeah, but how'd you make sense of someone flying? On the night of the incident, you met Iris at the inner temple. Is that correct?
That's right. I'm sure it was Iris.
Iris claims she was in her room in Hazakura Temple.
I knew I shouldn't have come back here that night.
But because you did, Maya is stuck all by herself at the inner temple? Or at the inner temple?
I'm so sorry. The drafts in that place are nothing to shake a stick at. Winter's especially bad.
I'll bet. The training hall looks like it's about to fall down any second. To be fair, it's warming. We've had loads of rain recently. It's just started to warm up. I'm hoping we can finally get a... I'm hoping that spring comes round and we can hopefully bust out the shorts.
Eagle Mountain has always been prone to earthquakes, just so you know.
Earthquakes?
Yes, I wouldn't be surprised if the next big one levels the training hall.
I've got to get Maya out of there. Fast.
But still, there's really no need to worry. That area on the other side of Dusky Bridge is isolated like an island.
It's like an island? How so?
Well, the only thing on that side of the bridge is the inner temple. No one lives out there and is surrounded on all sides of by the river or the forest.
I see.
So a criminal would be trapped should they choose to flee in that direction. As long as the bridge is out of commission, he or she will have to stay here. Or stay there.
That means Maya could be stuck out there with... That means Maya could be stuck out there with a murderer. With no way of escape either.
Oh dear, yes, I suppose it does.
Please, Gumshoe. Get that bridge up faster. I'm curious about a few things, if you don't mind answering a few questions.
Oh? Do you need to know my measurements for your investigation or something?
God, no. 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 I want to know a little more about the victim, Ms. Elise Denim.
I'm afraid I don't know her waist size or her bust size for that matter.
I mean, I'm not adverse to dating a woman older than me, but she is a bit out of my age range. No. I'm wondering why she came to stay in a place like this to begin with. I mean, she told us herself that she wasn't here for spiritual training.
My, you make it sound like this place is some sort of dump, Mr. Wright. Mr. Elise was here to soak up the natural beauty of Eagle Mountain, if you must know.
There, you did it again. Sister Bikini. I noticed you always refer to Mr. Nim as Mr. Elise.
Oh?
Yeah. Now why is that? After all, she's not here as an acolyte.
We address all our visitors as mystic. It makes their experience feel authentic. And, anyway, she is older than me. You must respect your elders, you know.
How do you know that? And how can you say for sure that she's older than you? Ah. Someone's telling fibs. Damn, 5? Seems Miss Elise Nim was no ordinary visitor after all. And there's Pearls. She was with Mr. Nim on the evening of the murder, and now she's vanished. It's all got to be connected somehow. Let's ask about Pearl at least. Why did Pearls have to get mixed up in all this mess?
Please, Mr. Wright, I know you're worried, but try to keep it together.
Oh man. My head's throbbing so bad it's killing me. Pearls. She was with Mr. Nim on the night of the murder, remember?
Yes, but, I have a temple to run, you know. I was busy preparing for the training. I didn't see the little darling even once after we'd finished eating dinner.
The murder didn't take place right in front of her innocent eyes, did it? Or did it?
According to the detective, she hasn't turned up at her home either.
Come on. Keep calm. Oh, come on, keep calm. There's one place left where Pearls could be. Just has to be there. Come on, Gumshoe, tell me you'll be done with the repairs soon. Okay, well, we can probably have a punt at this. See how far we can get anyway with what evidence we've got now. Probably not going to do it right away, but we can, you know, maybe we will and that'll save us some time. Mr. Bikini, the truth is becoming increasingly clear to me. I'm convinced that Miss Elise had a special significance to this temple. As to why she had a special significance, I believe I believe it has to do with her true identity.
What on earth are you talking about? She was... Mr. Elise was an author. Just an author of picture books.
To be honest, I had my suspicions almost immediately after I met her.
Suspicions?
Yes, But I didn't have any evidence to support my theory, though. But now I do. This piece of evidence proved Miss Elise Nim's true identity. And that would be... Something... Nope. Something tells me we might need more proof. I should investigate more and grab some clues before I try again. Right. I don't seem to be getting anything else out of her. Let's try the courtyard. Maybe Phoenix can give us something else on the matter. This is where Sister Bikini witnessed the incident. It's hard to imagine she was lying on the stand, so... Maybe there are some clues that have yet to be found. Well, gives me a chance to view everything else. Ugh. That building up there is the main hall. It's where was where we were staying. It's kind of funny because it was built on a very steep slope. You enter from the main gate side. These rooms above me are on the ground floor. Probably Mr. Nim was staying in the corner room. I guess that's where she was pushed from last night. Would make sense. I get quite a bit of snow up here on Eagle Mountain. Around here, skis aren't just for fun, they're tools for getting around. The sled, now that's gotta be for Bikini's own personal entertainment. I'm more of a snowboarder than a skier. I mean, you're more likely to hurt yourself probably with a snowboard because your feet are strapped to the board. Whereas skis, you can you have a lot more control over your movements. You know, each individual limb anyway. Anyway, the main gate's on the other side of the stone wall. The difference is in elevation is almost 10 feet. That's how steep this hillside is. There's also the height of There's also the height the body fell from, according to the autopsy. It is possible that Mr. Nim was pushed from... Or is it possible that Mr. Nim was pushed from the top of that wall? Potentially, Phoenix. Potentially. The Shigashito. It's there in Mr. Kami's right hand. But it was proven in court today that this wasn't the murder weapon. From the design, it must have been used for some pretty gruesome things in the past. I just think it's a cool looking sword. You need some force to shove that into someone because those edges on each blade side, like, you know, the blades on the smaller blades on each side, they cannot be sharp enough to cause any problems. There are a few of these stone lanterns scattered around this courtyard. Well, a city glare to compete with, I imagine they would seem a lot brighter. I guess Sister Bikini must light them now since Iris can't be here. What's that? What's this? Little pause symbol. Mr. Nim's staff. Definitely remember there being a crystal sphere attached to the staff. Guess Larry eventually found the sphere near the foot of Dusky Bridge, but what was it doing all the way out there? Kane, I think that's everything. Yeah, I think that's everything. Oh. It's not her, so it's who do I guess it is? It's probably Gumshoe telling us the bridge is fixed. I'm gonna guess with that. Hey.
What was that jarring yet inconsiderably loud yell?
Yes, it's Gumshoe.
Yeah, so this is where you've been. Keeping nice and warm, I see.
Detective, do you finish repair?
Yeah, the bridge, I did. I told you I'd let you know.
Well, then I'll come along with you and
Sorry, ma'am. No unauthorized entry. Access is restricted to people involved in the case.
What was that? I'm involved, aren't I? You couldn't get much more involved than me.
Oh, well, yeah, but that's not what I... Ah!
It's been a while, Scruffy.
It's... Miss Von Karma!
And now he's dead. Sister, please leave the investigation to me.
My, you certainly seem to have everything under control.
I'm on your side. I won't do anything you don't want me to do.
As you work to pin the guilt on Iris.
What are you daydreaming about, Phoenix Wright?
Ow!
That hurt, you know. Silence. I, Francisca Von Karma, will personally guide you through your investigation. So you will follow me.
She's not seriously going to follow me around, is she? I'm not against it. I suggest we go to the bridge. Damn, Gumshoe works fast. No? Okay. Things have certainly become a lot more hectic than before.
They must have commenced with the investigation.
Oh, pearls!
Oh, Mr. Nick.
That voice. Pearls?
Knew it.
Mr. Nick. Mr. Nick.
So you were here? Ever since that night?
I was so lonely I thought I was gonna die. I woke up in the morning and saw the dusky bridge was gone. I realized I was all alone.
She was all alone? It must have been very trying for you, little girl.
Ah, you're...
I am Francisca Von Karma, the prodigy. There's no need to worry now that I'm here.
You're the prosecutor who was mean to Mystic Maya last year.
Well,
I don't like you. You're nothing but a little girl without your whip.
Damn, get owned. By a 9-year-old.
Mystic Maya didn't do anything wrong, but you were so mean. I'll never forgive you.
No. Looks like Pearl's words are getting under her skin. She's probably gonna whip me and... Yep, thought so. Yow! Why are you whipping me? I didn't even say anything.
You didn't have to. The smile on your lips gave you away.
Anyway, Pearls.
Weren't you with Maya?
I'm sorry. It's all my fault.
Huh? What are you talking about, Pearls?
Mystic Maya.
Hey, wait, Pearls. She just ran off. Ow!
That was cruel, Phoenix Wright. To make a little girl cry like that is inexcusable.
What was that all about? Pearls acting like that? It's giving me the creeps. Guess I'd better take another look around since I finally got the chance. Especially since something seems different about this place from 2 days ago. Look at all the Buddha statues lined up along the path.
Phoenix Wright, do you think this is how many siblings the head nun has?
Why don't you ask her the next time you see her?
You know what? I think I will.
And she'll probably slap you for prying into her personal affairs.
Well, you know.
Nosiness is kind of your game. When you're a prosecutor or a attorney, you have to know things about other people. You can see Dusky Bridge from here. It's an unusually long bridge, isn't it?
I would say it's about 20 yards.
Guess the gorge is too wide to cross with a piece of rope or wire, huh?
Therefore, no one has crossed the gorge in either direction since the night of the murder.
A simple yet sound deduction, wouldn't you say, Phoenix Wright?
We'll see.
Phoenix Wright?
What? And why did you stop calling me by my full name like that?
Was this once a prosperous port?
A port?
Yes, that Mel Hook is a mooring post for boats, you know.
Oh, that's an anchor for one of the wires that's used to hold up the bridge. I think the wire that was tied to this one probably snapped when the bridge burned down. I mean, there's no way there was ever a port all the way up here.
Don't get smart with me, Phoenix Wright.
But I didn't say anything. I think she's just really into the whipping, personally. There's a weird smell coming from that incinerator. The door is also open, almost like it's begging me to look inside. Oh well, let's see what stunning clue is concealed in here, shall we? There's always something in these incinerators, going off the form of the previous cases we've had. Huh? It's empty.
How naive of you, Phoenix Wright.
But it's a little bit strange, don't you think, Francisca von Karma? I seem to remember. There was snow on this incinerator the first time I saw it. So it was used in the previous 2 days. Yeah, it's been overword. Someone's been using it to burn something recently.
Listen, Phoenix Wright. It's impertinent to call people by their full name.
And I don't know what impertinent is, so joke's on you. I was only copying you. And as we all know, what's it called? Fingy's the sincerest form of flattery. Can't think what it's called. Copying someone. Can't remember the phrase now. It's because I'm looking up what impertinent means.
This must be the door that leads to the inner temple.
Impertinent, the one who interferes in what does not concern him, one who is rude, uncivil, or offensive in a behavior, a meddler, an intruder. Okay. Yes, there's a solitary room called the training hall.
You could do with some training yourself, Phoenix Wright.
Yow!
You're completely out of shape.
I don't know how much more of this woman I can take. You get used to it after the first few years. That's how all marriages go. The sign says in a temple. Yeah, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Like I knew it was a word beginning with I. It's why irony came to my brain.
I don't know how you're reading it, but it's incomprehensible to me.
Actually, I can't read it either.
Feigning comprehension isn't a very good habit to have, Phoenix Wright.
She looks really happy to have finally caught me on something. She just likes me, really. There's a little gate that leads into the garden. It says no entry on the sign, though.
Come now, Phoenix Wright, what are you doing? Let's go on in. It's half open anyway. What harm could come of it?
It says no entry.
Don't you Americans enjoy doing whatever you like and then simply say whatever?
That's got nothing to do with anything, and who told you that? Yeah, just because they have the just because they can say what they like and, you know, carry guns whenever they damn well please, does not mean they have the right to do whatever they damn well please and, you know, go stromping about. It may look like that, but I assure you it's not. Okay, there's something on the door. February 9th in a temple training hall.
What's wrong? Why are you so quiet?
Maya, she was supposed to be in here training.
Yes, it appears she's nowhere to be seen.
What's that? A strange lock. Wasn't there 2 days ago. This whole room is really giving off some strange vibes. Let's have a look a closer look at it. This door. That weird lock wasn't on it. Well, 2 days ago that weird lock wasn't on it.
Those chains, it's almost as if they're guarding something inside that cavern. I've never seen a lock quite like this before.
I have. I've seen these locks and chains just like this before. They look just like the ones that guard a person's secrets during a cyclock. I wonder if this lock is guarding something too. Dark secrets in a dark cavern. How very dark. It's an antique dresser.
Don't you dare open it, Phoenix Wright.
Now I know how Maya feels when I tell her not to touch things.
What a pity, it's full of nothing but old clothes for the acolytes. I thought we weren't opening it. I'm from the prosecutor's office, I can do anything.
Yeah, you can do anything. Except stand there. Except stand up to a 9-year-old. Probably best to keep those opinions to yourself, barring if you want to get, unless you want to get whipped again.
What do you call this yellowish poster? What do you think this yellowish poster is, Phoenix Wright?
It's a scroll, not a poster. It's a picture of a woman who's actually...
A woman? I don't see any woman here.
There's a different atmosphere in this room since the last time I was here. No, it's not a different atmosphere, it's a different smell. It's gravy.
What's the matter?
The scroll, it's completely covered in gravy.
Ah, yes, there's a very appetizing smell in the air. But gravy is a type of sauce. So when you run out of paint, you Americans use gravy as a substitute. I see.
No, no one does that. Starters, it stinks. Especially if you left it for a long enough time, it'd begin to reek. This must be the gravy that we had on the roast the night of the incident. Why would anyone do this? Why this scroll? Okay, who am I gonna guess this is? Edgeworth? Maybe? What took you so long? I thought even you'd manage to get here faster than this. Oh, it's Goddo. Damn it. Okay, and I'm 1 for 1.
I thought even you'd manage to get here faster than this, Mr. Trite.
Prosecutor Goddo? I didn't know you were here.
Prosecutor?
How come you didn't show up at the trial today?
I could ask you the exact same question.
Huh? But I had a cold, so...
I had something slightly more important than the common cold to deal with. The importance of which is something you have no hope of ever understanding. Enough. I believe I have the measure of you. You're the very worst kind of prosecutor. What could be more important than a trial? Who's the wild mare, right, Trite?
This is Miss Von Karma. She was the acting prosecutor in your absence today.
Huh. Well, I guess I owe you one then. But you can go now, princess. It's time for the big boys to take the reins. Just who do you think you are? This case is my... Hey, Philly. Know your role and shut your mouth. I can't stand women like you.
Based Goddo, put in the women, put in the woman in a place. It's not every day I see someone quote The Rock. I'm just know your role and shut your mouth.
I'm only going to say this once, Lady Von Whippingberg. Go home. Phoenix Wright?
What? Why are you hitting me?
You deserve more cracks of the whip than that, Trite.
What?
You still don't get it, do you? You don't realize that you've set something in motion that you'll never be able to undo.
There's something different about Godo today. I'm getting such a strong sense of something from behind that mask of his. Is it anger? Or is it sorrow? Well, since we've examined everything. You had some important business and that's why you weren't in court, huh? So what was it?
I've told you once before, but perhaps you don't remember. I've returned from the depths of hell to do battle with you. You see, Wright, I've experienced something most have not. Death.
You died?
Of course, being extracted or being extradited from hell is a tedious affair. Meticulous regeneration and adjustment of all your internal organs is, well, let's just say modern medicine allows us to live to a ripe old age. Even someone like me.
So you mean that mask you wear is...
This ugly device, I promise, it's not a fashion statement, my unenlightened friend. About this, I can't see your frequently dumbfounded face.
I didn't know.
My eyesight is pretty messed up. Even with these huge goggles on my head, I still can't see everything. Still, I keep this worn out piece of junk of a body going with regular servicing.
I'm sorry, but you say you experienced death? How is that possible? What happened?
Why don't you ask him?
Huh? But me?
Yeah, Trite. You should know all about it. You know when my life ended, and who ended it for me.
Well, Phoenix Wright, do you?
I don't know what he's talking about. Although, to be honest, I do feel a little tug at the corner of my memory. I think I do know about how Godot was killed.
It'll all become clear in due time. Isn't that right? Trite.
Really? I don't know. Well, since this is the last case, I assume it would be. Earlier, you said I've done something I can never undo.
God.
What did you mean by that exactly?
The inner temple here on this side of Dusky Bridge is an isolated island.
That's what Sister Bikini said too.
And I wonder, Trite, you know what the police are doing here today?
What do you mean?
They're searching for any trace of an acolyte who went missing.
Missing?
As leader of the search party, I can tell you this with absolute certainty. Maya Fey is not on this side of Dusky Bridge.
Huh? But that's impossible. She came here that last night and...
I won't say it again. The chances of her being here are nil. Excluding, of course, one very unique place.
One? Where's that?
The sacred cavern, the entrance of which we are standing at right now. This is the only place that the search party is yet to explore.
So they haven't searched that cavern yet, huh?
Be aware, though, that the temperature inside frequently falls below freezing. Even if she were in there, The chances of her being found alive are slim at best. No. Which means, Wright, you send Maya Fey to her death.
You fool. If that's the situation, why aren't you in there with a search party right now?
You must have blinders on. You must have blinders on. My equestrian angel. Don't you see the big lock and chains? It's a trick lock. I am making...
Can't help myself yawn.
It's a trick lock. I'm making preparations to open it as we speak. Well, Trite. Once again, a woman dies because of you.
Once again? What the hell are you talking about?
Don't tell me you've forgotten. It was only 2 years ago, after all. And the last unfortunate woman died because of you.
Because of me?
And do you know who that was? It was Maya Fey's sister. That's right, Mia Fey.
Mia?
You killed her.
No, that's not how it was.
It was 2 years ago. Mia Fey was pursuing someone. A man. But she bit off more than she could chew. She made a very dangerous enemy.
Yeah, that's one case I'll never forget. Technically my first proper case, because Mia wasn't there to help me out. Well, technically she was, but not in the alive sense. But I got that guy, personally.
Sure, Miss Fey's murderer was caught. But that won't bring her back.
Well, no, but...
You were with her all the time. You and no one else. It was your responsibility. You should have protected her. You say Mia Fey was your teacher. Well then I'd say you've learned nothing, Trite. You robbed her of her life and now you've led her little sister to the same fate.
I haven't sentenced Maya to death.
No.
Well, you might have.
What's with that peculiar looking lock? Why don't we just break it open? It would be a simple matter of...
I'm afraid we can't do that. This area has always been prone to earthquakes. The repeated tremors have weakened the foundations of the training hall. Any excessive force used to break the lock would well, let's just say the inner temple and the secret cavern would be a thing of the past.
Very well, then dare I suggest the obvious solution of opening it with the key?
Huh. Sure, just show me where the keyhole is on this trick lock.
There's no keyhole?
That's right. An interesting puzzle, huh? The person who set this lock is the only one who can open it.
Then who is it?
Simple. The accused.
What, Iris?
When an acolyte undergoes training inside the secret cavern, the attending sister is responsible for locking the entrance. Obviously, the night of the murder was no exception. Maya Fey was to train in there.
Sister Bikini did mention that a number of times now that I think about it. She said that Iris was left in charge of supervising the early stages of her training.
So Iris the accused is the only one who can open this lock. I've arranged for her to be brought up here now.
Iris is the only person who can open this lock? I hope she gets here soon. Hang on. Hang on in there, Maya. We'll get you out. So, I should be getting back to work. Wait, Godo. How sure about Maya are you? There's no doubt in my mind. She's in the sacred cavern somewhere. It's the only place she could be. You'd better start praying. You better start praying that that friend of yours brings the accused back here soon. Edgeworth? Listen up, Trite. There's only one thing I want to say to you before I go. I'll never accept you. Never. Hmm? You should choose your friends more carefully, Phoenix Wright. That's what everyone says. Looks like I don't have much of a choice. I guess I just have to do what I can for now. Well, I've examined everything. What else can I do? Maybe we found something that maybe opens up, what's his name? I can't think of a name. Bikini's locks. I don't know, shouldn't I'm gonna guess this is Larry? It's either Larry or Gumshoe. I'm gonna assume it's Larry. I don't know, should I or shouldn't I? Sounds like someone's talking to himself, but where's that coming from? Damn it! Gumshoe. That would have made more sense as well. Okay, and I'm 1 to 2. I can work it back. Yeah, I guess I better wash that off. That's what I'll do. No, we can't do that. I'm a detective. Yeah, my brain. This is driving me nuts. Yeah.
Is something troubling you, Scruffy?
Please don't whip me like that all of a sudden, sir.
It was merely a simple greeting. A friendly tap on the shoulder with my whip.
Yes, so what's up, Gumshoe? Is something on your mind? How do you know, pal?
Perhaps you were trying to decide it?
To decide if you want to wash that. Yeah, decided? Perhaps you were trying to decide it if you wanted to wash that off or not? That doesn't feel grammatically correct. Isn't it decide and they'd never just noticed it? Or they'd never noticed the grammatical error? Perhaps you were trying to decide
if you wanted to wash that off or not.
Yeah, how do you know, sir? Oh yeah, I nearly forgot. You can't go through that little gate there, okay? You mean the one with says no entry on it? I, kind of already snuck in there. You trying to be clever or something?
So what's behind there, Scruffy?
Some kind of a garden-like... garden. A garden? Yeah, anyway, it's under investigation right now, so you keep out. Not telling you I'm asking you, pal. You got me? Isn't it more normally the other way around? Well, see you later.
So, shall we adjourn to this garden, Phoenix Wright?
Of course, what else would we do? I really want to know what Gumshoe was thinking of washing off. Well, no. Now I know what he wants to wash off. Also, it's kind of nice having Francisca here with me.
There's a strange feeling in the air. I wonder what it is.
Strange feeling? Forget about that. What's the strange writing on the stone lantern? Eh. What are you doing here, sir? I thought you said you can't come in here.
Don't you know, Scruffy, a Von Karma will always show up wherever there's a clue. And there are plenty of clues to be found here.
Yeah, but, I'll have a look around first. There are a couple torches here. I guess you need all the light you can get up here in the mountains.
Yeah, I was looking at those things, pal. Looks like they've been lit pretty recently.
Recently? How recent are we talking about?
Yeah, as recent as the night of the murder.
Maya was training here on the night of the murder. Not unreasonable to think these things were lit up at the time, I guess. Depends what this thing is used for. Well, let's have a look at what this is first. A little lantern statue? Oh, a little lantern? A little statue? It certainly is a quaint little garden. Oh. What is this huge bowl here for?
Oh, I know this one. It's a water bowl, isn't it?
Everything else is completely frozen over. The ice in this bowl is it has been broken. That's true. I wonder if this has any impact on the case.
Well, I doused my face earlier with water in this. I was kind of getting sleepy.
Yeah. Next time you're sleepy, you need only come to me. Got it? Well, you did saw, evidence. Yeah, there's this thing I wanted to look at, not the lantern and the statue. There's a charm or something poking out of the snow. Looks pretty old. There's a leathery cord tied to it.
Apparently it belonged to the victim.
Miss Elise Denim?
Yeah, there was a broken leather cord around the lady's neck. And the ends of the cords were found on both of the the end of the cords were found both on the victim and on this charm match exactly.
Sounds to me like this little trinket is going to be my ticket to getting some very big answers. No? Can I get the broom? Well, this is odd. There's no snow on the ground here. It's almost a perfect rectangle. It couldn't have happened naturally. Yes, it appears as though someone has carefully cleared away the snow. No doubt it was you, Scruffy, wasn't it?
Eh? No, it wasn't me, sir. It was already like that when my men and I got here to start the investigation.
Oh, it wasn't the police, then who did it?
Oh, yeah, there's something I need to tell you. Just between the three of us, okay?
What is it? Or what is it?
It's top secret. You can't tell anyone, got it?
Understood.
Well, when I was a kid, I got knocked out of the local wrestling contest, you see. I was so disappointed, I just picked up my mouth guard and I cried all the way home. Man, I got in so much trouble when I left it on the couch.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. Eh.
Whoever cleared the snow away must have had a reason. Though I can't even begin to imagine what reason it could be. What the heck is that?
Uh-oh. You spotted it, huh, pal?
You kidding me? It couldn't be more obvious. It says, Maya.
Yeah, and before you ask, it's written in blood.
You will answer all of our questions now, Scruffy, without exception.
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, I think that's everything. So I believe I can now interrogate Gumshoe a little bit more. A bit more detail. So, how's the Inner Temple investigation going?
We have the best forensic team in the world working the place.
Forensic team? And what was the outcome of this scientific study?
Nothing. Scientifically speaking, the place is as clean as a whistle.
That's simply not good enough, Scruffy. Do you think I'll let you get away with that?
Uh-oh. Well, there were a couple of things that bothered me when I first got here, sir. That stone lantern in the surrounding area, that's not covered in snow, correct?
Oh, that stone lantern in the surrounding area, that's covered in snow. That's not covered in snow, correct? I knew it as soon as I read the sentence. I went, correct. Gumshoe wouldn't say that.
They look kind of fishy to me, scientifically speaking. So I got the lab boys to look them over. Results were, it's kind of hard to say, actually.
I guess I'd better look into it myself. About Maya? Oh, did Mr. Gatto tell you yet? Yes, we heard. We got a search party out looking for her. But there's nowhere else she could have disappeared to on this side of Dusky Bridge. All we can do is wait for Mr. Edgeworth to get here, pal. Edgeworth? He's escorting Iris, the defendant, over here.
Well, we'll just have to wait since she's the only one who can open the door to the sacred cavern.
Oh, and I think Mr. Edgeworth wants to talk to you about something. Wants to talk to you about something too, pal.
Huh? I wonder what it is.
Just don't be expecting any good news when you talk to him. When I spoke to him, Mr. Edgeworth sounded so down, I felt like I was drowning.
Sounds pleasant. Maya, so these letters are written in blood?
Yeah. What's worse is it's the victim's blood.
Huh? This is Miss Denim's blood?
We haven't done a detailed analysis yet, but it's looking that way, pal.
Most interesting. Phoenix Wright, I presume you know, don't you? Why Maya's name is written upside down?
Not particularly, but go forth and explain. You know what? That was really bothering me too. I just came up with my answer, the result of my own special gumshoe investigation.
Really? Do tell.
Well, on the night of the murder, that stone lantern was upside down.
Anyway, there's really one logical explanation to this mystery. Miss Elise Denim wrote these letters herself, in her own blood.
Must be joking. That's impossible. From the writing and the victim's blood and the other clues left behind, seems pretty likely that this garden was the scene of Miss Elise Denim's murder. At least that's our current theory on how the events took place, pal.
What?
Oh, revelation time. So Mr. Nim was killed here? However you want to look at it, that's what people are saying now. And
what Sister Bikini saw in the courtyard of the main temple was... Well, what was it? It wasn't the scene of the crime. What did she see?
What do you think, Miss Von Karma?
Surely a special gumshoe investigation would reveal the answer, no?
Yeah, but wait a sec.
But wait a sec. The bloody writing and all the other clues here. Someone could have easily said all this after the murder, right?
Sorry. That's not an option, pal.
Why not? How quickly you forget, Phoenix Wright. Ever since the incident occurred, this place has been completely inaccessible. Because Dusky Bridge was completely burned out.
Yeah, it does make that point. I was overseeing repairs to the bridge the whole time. No one came over here before me and my men. Which means no one could have planted all this stuff here, pal. I can't think of a counter-argument to that. Yeah, I knew it. Should have washed the blood off the lantern as soon as I got here.
Is this really the scene of the crime? I need to figure out what exactly it was that Bikini actually saw.
Well.
I don't think there's anything I need to show Gumshoe, and there's been no hints so far, but I need to find pearls. Let's check Heavenly Hall before we go here. Nothing new. Go to the main gate. There we go. Bingo. It seems you have a visitor.
Oh. What's up, my lady friend? Who potentially might be a murderer? For the second time. Technically the third. Actually.
Mr. Wright. Iris, really glad to see you.
Gatto managed to mobilize the police by claiming a state of emergency.
Not him again. Never mind him. We gotta hurry and unlock the sacred cavern. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. It's my fault someone so important to you is locked in there. Mr. Edgeworth? Can we finish our conversation later? Alright. Let's hurry to the inner temple then. I'll see you later, Wright? Wait, Edgeworth, I'm coming with you guys. Sorry, Wright. I can't allow you to come with us. What? I hate to be the one to break it to you, but Maya Fey is in a rather delicate position. What do you mean delicate position? This isn't simply a rescue operation, right? It's also an investigation. That being the case, we can't allow members of the public to interfere. Come on, Edgeworth. If anything happens, you'll be the first to know. Please understand, right? It's Maya. Mr. Wright? All that matters is that Mystic Maya is rescued, correct? Listen to the voice of reason for a change, Mr. Phoenix Wright. From now on, consider anything beyond Dusky Bridge to be off limits. We'll be going now. Excuse us.
Ah!
This is no time to be standing around, Phoenix Wright. Are there other things that demand your attention? She's right. Thanks for reminding me. Well, I guess we've got to take a punt at Bikini again, I guess? That's the only thing that comes to mind, but there's not really nothing else that I can think of that would open that first lock. Maybe that little trinket she has that we got from the temple? That we got from the garden, sorry. Sister Bikini looks like she's shrunk some since I last saw her. Don't be so rude, Phoenix Wright. What's wrong, Sister Bikini?
My, hello you two, how are you doing? Wah, ah, 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 ah.
From the sound of that sigh, I guess she's pretty down.
Iris was just here, you know. She was accompanied by that handsome crimson-clad prince. Crimson-clad prince.
I wasn't expecting prince, I was expecting attorney. I was expecting the word attorney, but no. Apparently he's handsome and I'm not.
It was just a courtesy call. I wasn't allowed to talk with her at all. Oh dear, it's all my fault that this has happened. Poor Iris. She was worried about my back, would you believe? What have I done to her?
Only what you had to do, sister. You bravely and truthfully testified about what you saw. There's no shame in that. And we'll see to it that your testimony wasn't made in vain.
Well, I don't hear anybody else saying that. Mr. Blue Suits doesn't seem to share your opinion, I see.
Huh? Me? Ow! Oh, yeah. You did great, Sister Bikini. Absolutely spectacular.
You two are the only ones who said that to me.
I can't shake the feeling that I just became a shill to a shrew.
You have a problem, Phoenix Wright?
Sure, she was brave to testify so truthfully like that. But I know she's still hiding something. Guess it's time to break these cyclocks of hers. Well, let's give it a try then again. Maybe I can bust her open. There's some new evidence that I picked up. At least a Nim. Mr. Bikini, the truth is becoming increasingly clear to me. Add some significance to Temple. Leave someone with a true identity. Well, no, if she was dead, offer her picture books, to be honest. After I met her, suspicions. Not my theory, though. This proves Fingy's true identity. This? It's the only thing that made sense, because if it's either that or the poster. I think. That's the only thing that makes sense to me, anyway. That have relation to spiritual things, and the poster looks kind of like her. All the other things don't really make sense. Mr. Nim had this charm with her at all times.
Where did you...
Isn't some cheap good luck charm either.
Then what do you think it is, Mr. Wright? What could a talisman like that possibly mean?
It's a talisman, is it? Is it? Interesting.
Oops.
This speaks volumes to about who Mr. Nim really was. This talisman and one other item might unequivocally prove Mr. Nim's true identity. I want to say it's the crystal sphere, but I'm thinking about it. So it ain't that.
Well, you really ought to think about buying one of those charms we sell here, Mr. Wright.
Huh?
Otherwise, you might just find yourself jumped on by a little old lady on a dark mountain path.
What am I doing? The piece of evidence I need to show Bikini is obvious.
That's just a plain old good luck charm, so please just give it back.
Oh, no, I don't think so. The thing that speaks volumes to Miss Denim, who really was, talisman and one other thing, prove her true identity was. I'm assuming it's not that. Can't be really the staff, there's nothing relevant to it. I assume it's the scroll, like I said. Whew. Okay, that was a leap of faith. The painting is obscured by this gravy stain at the moment. This scroll shows the master of the Quran channeling technique. Ah, yes, because of the symbol on top. I should have clicked that, you idiot. The crest at the top is a sign of that honorable title. The very same crest that adorns the talisman the victim carried with her. This crest is reserved for the master of the Quran.
Oh no, I've told you that nonsense. I've got no idea what you're talking about.
The new master, Maya Fey, told me.
What? What? You mean that acolyte is Misty Fey's
Daughter? Yes.
You sure?
Yes, in fact, since her eldest daughter passed away, Maya is Misty Fey's sole successor.
Mystic Misty.
Oh, I got all of them? Nice. Just changing something in chat.
Mystic Elise graced us with her presence about a week ago. When she showed me this talisman with that mark on it, well, I nearly fainted. No one had seen her since she disappeared 17 years ago, after all.
What is the significance of this talisman, sister?
The Quran talisman is a symbol of the Master of Quran. The bearer must carry it with them always until their death.
So I assume that in future games, Maya will Maya will have this.
Until they're deaf?
So Elise Denim was really Maya's mother, huh?
She was Misty Fey, the master of the Quran channeling technique.
The truth comes out at last. It looks like we're making some headway here.
Tell me, sister. After 17 years, why did she choose to show herself now?
Because something happened that called her out of hiding.
What happened?
Well?
Oh, earthquake.
What's happening?
It can't be.
Earthquake! Ah!
Aha!
My goodness, the inner temple. This kind of tremor might...
The inner temple?
The sacred cavern in the training hall, it might very well cave in.
What? Maya! Well, I'm rushing over there, whether the police like it or not. Well, that's what I'd do anyway.
It seems to have passed.
Well, we can't just stand here and do nothing. Let's go.
What? Where?
In a temple, of course. Where else? Sister Bikini, we'll finish this later, alright?
Of course, you run along now. People may have been hurt. I must get some first aid kits ready.
Come on then, Phoenix Wright. They won't bar you from entering as long as I'm with you.
Thank you. Right at that moment, I had the worst feeling in my gut. We had just had an earthquake. I wonder if he's alright. Yeah, Miles doesn't do well with earthquakes.
You look worried. Are you thinking about Miles Edgeworth?
Come on, let's go. To the main gate! Gotta hurry to the inner temple and... Right. Ah, what are you doing here?
How could I have? How do you expect us to understand if you won't speak up?
Yow! Hey, why am I the one getting whipped?
She's gone. No.
The defendant, Iris, she's gone.
Gone where?
She fled. She escaped.
What?
So it was just now, during the... It's easy to see Edgeworth's one and only weakness. His fear of earthquakes. I should have known better than to escort the defendant alone. As soon as the ground started shaking, everything went dark before my eyes, and I stupidly passed out. That incident haunts you to this day, doesn't it? That's no excuse for letting the suspect get away. I can't believe I let it happen. Right, the inner temple area is a dead end, so she could have only escaped to this side.
We haven't seen her.
We need to get a manhunt underway, and now, and search Eagle Mountain from top to bottom. Wait, Edgeworth. Have you thoroughly checked the inner temple yet? Don't be ridiculous, why would I? The inner temple is like an island. There's no way to escape but to cross. No, that's not it. Iris isn't the type of person to run away, Edgeworth. What are you talking about? Sister Bikini mentioned something when we were with her. She said the secret cavern might have caved in because of the quake.
And you think Iris would have gone to the inner temple to check on the situation?
Listen, Edgeworth, I'm sure she's at the inner temple. A manhunt is not necessary. Right. Let's not waste any more time. We need to get to the training hall, secret cavern, now. Alright, let's go. Fortunately, the sacred cavern hadn't caved in, but what we found was something none of us could have ever expected.
How can there be even more locks? What is the meaning of this?
Iris.
Iris, please tell me. What the hell is going on?
Well, we're gonna keep going. Right. Is this what Godot was talking about? Yes, these trick locks. Now then, Iris, please remove these at once.
Mr. Edgeworth, I'm afraid I can't. It's not possible for me.
What? During the earthquake, when the cavern was in danger of caving in, Iris escaped. And I know that there was only one lock when I last came here.
So you're saying that you can't undo the new locks? Yes.
If only I was stronger. Edgeworth, how are you feeling? You look a little pale in the face. Like you want to talk with all that, with your face all green?
Miles Edgeworth, go and get some air.
I'll watch over the suspect. You can go get a grip on yourself. You go get a grip on yourself. Don't be ridiculous. I'm perfectly fine. There's no telling what sort of mistakes you can make in your current state. Go get some rest. That is your only concern now, Miles Edgeworth.
Understood. I'll handle the investigation in the garden. You take care of things here.
Edgeworth. He's got so much pride, he's probably off crying in the corner of the garden. Pride is simply another trap that hinders us in our lives. Or so one must have pride to be effective on the job. At any rate, it seems that this is where we part ways, Phoenix Wright. I'm going to stay here and see if I can't help solve these bothersome puzzles.
I see. Well, thanks for your help.
Now then, do you mind if I ask you a few things, Iris? No, not at all.
Well, here we go.
An antique dresser. Don't you dare open it, Phoenix Wright.
I know Maya feels when told not to touch things, and... Seen that. Is this the same? The scroll shows a picture of Misty Faye, master of the crying channeling technique. Why would anyone cover it in gravy?
I can't make out what's drawn on this scroll at all.
Can't. We've done that before as well.
This door.
When I was here earlier, there was only one lock, but now there are 5 of them.
Those chains, it's almost as if they're guarding something inside that cavern. I've never seen locks quite like this before.
I've seen these locks and chains just like these before. Just like the ones that guard a person's secrets during a psych lock. I wonder if these locks are guarding something too. Dark secrets in a dark cavern. She can't look that happy with what's happening. Why did you make a run for it, Iris?
I'm sorry. I heard that the inner temple had been severely shaken by the strong earthquakes we had. I was so worried, I just had to come and see. In other words, you didn't run away to escape. Oh, in other words, you didn't run to escape the law. At least we're clear on that. I can't tell you how relieved I was when I saw the sacred cavern was all right, but what? That I saw these chains here. I saw all these extra locks that someone had put on the door, on the sacred put on the sacred cavern's door, but Who in the world would do something like this?
Well.
These trick locks are a sacred treasure of the Quran tradition. There are hundreds of ways to set them. That's why the only person who can set the lock is the only person who set the lock can open it. And you aren't the one who set these locks? I don't think it's that simple, Francisco von Karma.
When we were here the first time, there was only one lock. But now, somehow, there's 5 of them.
What does that mean?
It means that someone wanted to secure the place even more. They wanted to secure it before you got here, Iris. Presumably because they wanted to make sure Maya couldn't get out. I mean, she could just be lying. That's what I'd be saying.
This means Iris can only open one of these locks. The first one. Yes, that's correct. What? Iris, try to think, please. Is there any way around this? Well, like I said,
There are hundreds of different ways to set these locks. I suppose if I went through every combination with each one, I could remove them. But it will take time, won't it? Yeah, about a day if I had to guess. A whole day? Well, that's better than leaving the locks in place. Will you do this for us? Sure, I'll do whatever I can. We've got to wait another day? Hang in there, Maya. You're going to have to call on... You're going to have to call on your inner strength now. You know what, Iris? There's still one thing that I don't quite get. And what might that be, Mr. Phoenix Wright? I don't think it's obvious. I think it's obvious. Iris, on the night of the murder, where were you? Please, Iris, don't give me that look. You told us that you were in your room at Hazakura Temple at the time of the incident. You were seen that evening at the inner temple. And then you were spotted at the scene of the crime and in Hazakura Temple too. Being spotted at both Hazakura Temple and the inner temple? As if you were... Well, Iris? Oh, well, Iris? I think it's about time you told us the truth. And there are the Cyclops. I knew it. There's something going on here that we don't know about. I don't quite understand. Well, we can give it a try, but I don't think we're going to get anywhere. Very night of the crime. I think it's time you told the truth about what you were doing on that night. You said you were in the room at Hazakura Temple at the time. You still claim that to be the truth? Yes, that's where I was. Iris, I believe you're innocent. That's why I want you to believe that you... I want to believe what you're telling me too, but I can't. Because this person saw you somewhere else on the night of the murder. Well, it's going to be Bikini, right? I'm talking about Sister Bikini, of course. Sister Bikini? The testimony in court today was very clear.
That night I was helping an acolyte with her training in the inner temple, but, well, as you can see, my back likes to act up violently. So I left Iris to help the acolyte and returned to Hazakura Temple.
Sister Bikini didn't just see you, she spoke with you. You two talked about Maya's training that night. So you see, Iris, you were there at the inner temple on the night of the murder. That's very impressive, Mr. Wright. Gain one down. The acolyte's training was due to start after 10 o'clock that night. After I left the main hall early so I wouldn't be late. What time was that? Let me see. It takes about 20 minutes to walk between the main hall and the inner temple. So I would have left about 9:40, I think. I'm sorry, Iris, but lying just doesn't suit you. Huh? Now, you say you left the main temple at 9:40, but what you said doesn't add up with this. Go with that. So you testified to the contrary, don't you remember? You said you rang out the lights at 10 o'clock that night. Plus, only moments before you rang that bell, you were seen at the main hall by the most reliable witness I have. Who's that? Me. You idiot. Mr. Wright? We even spoke a little that evening. When you gave me this. Surely you haven't forgotten. No, that's right, I remember. Okay, 1, 2 down, 1 to go. And that brings us to another puzzling fact, Iris. 10 o'clock on the night of the murder. You were seen in 2 different places at the same time. It's time you told me exactly what's been going on, Iris. So far, I've managed to prove 2 things. First, on the night of the incident, you were at the inner temple. And second, on the exact same time, you were ringing the bell at Hazakura Temple. There's only one possible explanation for this impossibility. You were at Hazakura Temple, you were at the inner temple. There were 2 of you. Bum bum bum. I mean, that has to make sense. Because if you were at the same time, 2 places at the same time, there has to be 2 different people. On the night of the incident, you were seen in 2 different places at the same time, which means there must have been 2 of you. I can't think of any other explanation, Iris. But that's crazy. How could that be? There's only one of me. Impossible. Impossible? I wonder. The way you're trembling certainly seems to suggest otherwise. You're seriously trying to suggest that there's nothing more than one of me? And show me the evidence. Show me something that proves there's more than one of me. Yeah, I don't think I have that. I don't think I have enough evidence yet. I should investigate and gather some more clues before I try again. Well then, I suggest we back out. Finally getting to the bottom of this case. I can count on Iris to break these locks, so I should try to gather more clues. From Sister Bikini, Edgeworth, Gumshoe, and Pearls. I have to find Pearls first. Let's check on Gumshoe though before we try and do anything else. The cops are still combing the place, sorry. They look pretty nervous. I'd be nervous too. That'll be a tough job. Especially with someone giving you the evil eye the whole time. How could I have done that? Well, I can't believe... Oh wow, I still can't believe it's bothering him. Edgeworth? Ah, Hey, don't you dare run away. What do you want, Wright? What do I want? If you came here to laugh at me, then get on with it. Go on, laugh away. I was ready to hug it out with him, but he's just the same prideful Edgeworth. You went back to the Criminal Affairs Department, right? You said you wanted to look into something concerning Iris. Yes. And thanks to what I found, I was reminded of something terrible. Oh, do tell. You guys are always putting a lot of effort into evidence of the into investigation of the garden here, huh? There's a high chance this is the actual scene of the crime, that's why. You mean because of the writing in blood and the talisman in the snow? Exactly. As you know, those things couldn't have been planted here after the murder. But surely you don't suspect Maya, do you? You have to treat everyone as a suspect, Maya as well as Iris. It's our job, right? So, I guess you still haven't got over your fear of earthquakes. No, thankfully my nightmares have stopped. But still, if the ground gives even the slightest tremor, I might find myself short of breath. 17 years ago, when we were little school kids at the same elementary school, Edgeworth found himself in the middle of a murder. It all started with that big quake that hit the courthouse.
Yes, I was stuck in the elevator with my father, who was a defense attorney. We were deprived of oxygen and we passed out. That's when it happened. A single gunshot shattered my whole life. I lost everything that day, all because of that earthquake. My dreams, my family, and myself. It's been more than 17 years now. I'm always gonna be like, get over it. Phoenix just dropping the hammer on him. And that case was finally resolved 2 years ago, right? You think I don't know that? I was there, but so was Phoenix. It was such a shock. I never imagined I could be so wrong about myself and my life. I'm sorry, Wright. There's nothing more I can say. Not after you chose to become a lawyer for my sake, and not after you saved me. Edgeworth, you're stronger than you think, so no more of this self-pity, okay? There was something that bothered me about her from the moment we met. I felt like I'd seen her somewhere before. No, wait. Not somewhere. I felt like I'd seen her in court before. So you went back to the Criminal Affairs Department to look for her file? Yes, I checked every other case file I've ever worked on. And I was right. I had seen her face before, 6 years ago. 6 years ago? It was my first appearance in court, and as the cases go, it was my worst nightmare. So, who is she? I'm sorry, Wright. I can't give that information away to a member of the general public. What? Why not? It might be a crucial piece of the puzzle that solves this case. The woman I knew was the daughter of a jewelry store owner. She had nothing to do with Iris or End Hazakura Temple, and neither did the case. No, that woman is completely unrelated to this murder. Unrelated? Yes. I can say that with complete confidence. You're wrong, Edgeworth. She's totally related to this case. I need to fill Edgeworth in. To explain the connection between Iris and the woman Edgeworth knew. That would require me to present evidence, which I do not have. Guess we gotta go to the bridge and try and find Pearl, and maybe we'll get evidence that way. It's weird that there's no one around all of a sudden. I think it's quiet up here in the mountains when you're all on your own. Speaking of alone, I guess I should go check out that shack just down the path. Maybe I'll find Larry there sulking again. Well, you heard Phoenix?
Oh, Mr. Nick.
Pearls? What are you doing here?
Nothing? What about Mystic Maya? Is she alright?
Well, we don't know yet.
Oh, I see.
Hey, what do you think you're doing here, Nick? Larry? This is the loser's shack, where losers get together to lose themselves. This is the what? Hey, we find comfort in each other's failures, okay? You got a problem with that?
Look, Mr. Nick. Mr. Luis did a picture of me.
That's, great, Pearls. We're going to gather firewood together now. We'll be cooking some half-rotten potatoes over a miserable little campfire. Stay out of our way. I don't believe this. Why can't he try getting fired up over becoming a better person? No one believes a word I say anymore. Listen to me, Pearl. You don't want to trust this kind of guy, okay? He'll only let you down.
Oh, Mystic Maya.
Well, we can talk to her at least. Oh, well, like Dr. Larry. Larry, is there something you want to tell me about this picture? Hey, I got nothing to say to you, Nick. My life's here now. With Pearl, two losers cooking potatoes together forevermore. What am I going to do with him?
Alright, what do you think about this picture, ma'am?
Alright then, what do you think about this picture, Pearls?
I think it's really well drawn. I can't draw at all, so I really think it's amazing.
See, someone appreciates it. It's tough getting the flames to look like that, you know.
It's supposed to be Sister Iris flying through the air, isn't it? I love it. It's like a dream, a wonderful fantasy.
No, it wasn't a dream. She really flew, I'm telling you, Iris really flew that night.
Mr. Larice?
Not you too. Please don't look at me like that, Pearl. Don't look at me like I'm some kind of nutcase, I beg of you. Guess this picture really is a representation of what Larry thinks he saw. Okay, but I was half asleep when I was here that night. But I was wide awake after the lightning struck. And I saw what I saw. It was exactly like I drew in the picture. And it looks like I don't have any other choice but to take this sketch at face value. Well, he's not lying, otherwise the Magatama would have gone off. Hey, what's that look of doubt on your face? Pearls?
Yeah, Mr. Nick?
I've been meaning to ask you about the night of the murder. Where were you and what exactly were you doing when it all happened?
I was just, well, I'm just a kid, you know? Sure, it doesn't really matter what I was doing. Does it, Mr. Nick?
Sorry, Pearls. But yes, it does. On the night of the murder, you were supposed to be with in Mr. Nim's room, reading a book together. But Mr. Nim was murdered, and you, Pearls, you were at the inner temple.
Yeah.
Just what exactly happened that night, Pearls?
Really sorry, Mr. Nick.
Oh, great, now the 8-year-old's lying to us as well. Fantastic, so we've got 2 places to go.
I've been a bad girl. That's why I'm being punished.
What are you talking about, Pearls?
My spiritual power, it's disappeared.
What? Her powers have disappeared? What do you mean about your power has disappeared, Pearls?
It's all over. It's all over for me. Spirit medium who can't channel spirits. It's like a painter who can't paint.
Hey, what are you looking to me for? Pearls? Did you try to channel someone's spirit right here at Hazakura Temple?
Tried, but
Failed, perhaps?
eh.
Way to go, Nick. You made her cry. That's really cruel of you. Mwah. Just as I thought. I'm going to have to break these Cyclops to get the truth out of her. Well, we got far with irises. Let's try and break Pearl down as well. Maybe we can make heads or tails of it. After dinner on the night of the murder, you were supposed to be in Elise Denim's room reading a book together, correct?
Yeah, I was so happy when she invited me. But I didn't go in the end.
You didn't go?
No, there was someone somewhere else I had to go instead. So worried I had to go. Didn't know what to do with myself. I was so nervous.
Pearls never went to Mr. Nim's room. She was way too worried about something or someone else. Pearls? On the night of the murder, you went to this place, didn't you? Well, I guess it's gonna be the inner temple. You went here, didn't you, Pearls? Looks like she's still not going to open up to me. This is where you went because you were so worried, right? The next question is, who or what were you so worried about? Now, I'm going to take a guess, and you can tell me if I'm right or wrong, okay?
You mean you know?
If I'm right, will you tell me the whole truth?
Okay.
You were in this you went to this place for one very simple reason, and that is Maya, I'd assume? She's worried about Maya? It's obvious you were so worried about pearls. Who you were so worried about pearls. It's Maya, isn't it? You knew the training Maya was undertaking was dangerous. After all, it was the special course.
Signed up for the special course. Oh, my, quite brave of you considering how cold it is. Young people can be so reckless with their health. Don't blame me if you come back with... You become one of those you channel.
Sister Bikini scared you with what she said, didn't she? Because it was you who introduced Hazakura Temple to Maya in the first place. You felt responsible, didn't you?
Thinking about what could happen to Mystic Maya made me more and more worried. I couldn't sit at all. That's why I decided to go find out about, what she was doing at the inner temple.
Okay, 1 out of 4 gone. And we're clear that you were in the inner temple on that night, Pearls. What's not so clear is what happened after that. About what time was it when you headed over to the inner temple?
It was probably around 9:30 when I left the main hall. I heard real training was supposed to start at 10. Wanted to get there before it started. There was so much snow I didn't get there until after 10 o'clock.
Till after 10? How did you know what time it was?
As I heard the bell ring for lights out.
You heard the lights out bell. Hazakura Temple's bell's pretty small though, isn't it? You must have really good hearing.
I was really trying to pick up the sound of that bell, that's all. I didn't want to miss it. That would be terrible.
You're trying to hear the bell? Tell me, Pearls, why were you so worried about hearing that bell? I think I know why. The real reason you were so worried is because of this. I hope it's going to be Maya again. That's when training starts, but I don't have anything else. I think this is where we'll have to back out and get him next time. Right then, let's see if Sister Bikini has anything to offer us. I wonder if Sister Bikini's back at the main hall yet. I haven't seen Gumshoe around for a while either. Maybe they're having a cup of tea somewhere. That Gumshoe is Sister Bikini's type. You think? Really? Oh, she's back. And no, not a Gumshoe in sight.
Well, what's the damage? How is the sacred cavern?
Looks like it survived. But we have a bigger problem now. Told Sister Bikini all about it. Lux was stopping us from getting inside the secret cavern.
But who could have done that? Only person I know could shut those trick locks are those of the Korean tradition.
We have Iris in the sacred cavern trying her best to open them for us right now. Actually, there's something I've been meaning to talk to you about, Sister Bikini.
Oh yes, we were in the middle of a chat, weren't we?
Yeah, you were telling me how the master of the Korean school disappeared 17 years ago. I want to know why Misty Face suddenly appeared at the temple.
It was about a week ago when Mystic Misty arrived. After she showed me the talisman that she proved she was the master, she said, "Someone is trying to destroy the Korean tradition's main family line. I'm here to put a stop to them."
Interesting. Someone was trying to destroy the main family line?
There's only one heir to the title of master at any time, and it's usually the eldest. Child becomes the new master of the Korean, and her daughters the main family. All other mediums become branch family members with no hope of controlling the clan. That's why nothing has changed throughout the history of the clan. Branch families always have, and always will, plot to erase those of the main family line.
Power of the Master worth this much bloodshed? I mean, probably not, but it's only really a title if you think about it.
You believe in the technique, don't you, Mr. Wright? You know its power's real?
Yes, I do. In 2 years since I first met Maya. That time, I've seen her channel the spirits of the dead plenty of times. During the Master Mask case, and during the Maggie Bird trial too. Oh no, I just definitely prefer Mia for some reason. Can't describe why I prefer Mia to Maya. 2 massive reasons that I just can't put my finger on. Or, well, you know. Thanks to Maya, Mia's always been there on a hand to help me out when I need her the most. Yep, definitely need her. The crying technique has made a huge difference to the world, you know. I mean, the ability to commune with the dead, that's true psychic power, you know. Members of the tradition have always been there, every important leader. Who wouldn't respect such a tremendous skill? I suppose, but with all that power and influence, I kind of expected you'd be really rich by now. You're saying we're poor, Mr. Wright? Oh, you're very direct, aren't you? Well, I suppose I am.
People don't believe in it anymore, you see, all because of our one little mistake.
Mistake? What mistake?
17 years ago when everything came crashing down. All because of that incident.
That incident? Is she talking about what I think she is?
I'm sure the records still exist if you're interested. Look it up. Locked up, of course. It was called DL6 incident.
Ah, well, we played the first game, so we know all about the DL6 incident.
That's the name of the file.
DL6 incident? I knew it. Well, time to get some information from her. The DL6 incident? I know it well. I handled a related case just 2 years ago.
Ah, that's right. So it was you who was the defense attorney on that case.
Yep. Good old rookie me. A murder that took place 17 years ago? Ooh, that might be the thumbnail. It was the first time in this country's history that the police ever used a spirit medium. The idea was to channel the victim's spirit to learn the identity of the murderer. The medium who performed the channeling was Misty Fay, Maya's mother. And Misty's channeling, the name of a certain man surfaced. Armed with that evidence, the investigators were spurred into action. But that man, he was found not guilty, wasn't he?
That's right, he was. The case remained a mystery. In other words, we failed. It was the first case the world had ever seen the crying tradition openly involved in. It was all over the media, the public, the judiciary, the people of the crying village. Everyone judged her, and everyone said Mystic Misty's powers were a sham. And she just disappeared, vanished, while everyone still thought of her as a fraud. But I know the truth.
Mystic Fay's spirit channeling wasn't a sham at all.
Of course it wasn't. And since you managed to reveal the truth, we're finally making a comeback. The crying tradition is starting to recover, at last. But with a new master wielding the power of the clan.
Does she mean Maya? Okay, guess we need to learn about family feuds.
The spiritual power of the Quran channeling technique is in the blood.
So it's genetic. Maya told me the exact same thing before.
We the women of the Fae clan have always been spirit mediums. It's because of our our power to communicate with spirits that flows strongly through us.
According to Maya, the women in the family can inherit that power.
The main family's bloodline stems directly from Mystic Army.
Well, how did she gain this power? That's what I want to know.
But with each new generation, only one daughter becomes master.
And the ones who don't become branch families, correct?
That's right, and it's always the cause of tragedy.
You know, Maya had a sister too. An older sister named Mia.
Oh yes, I've heard of her.
What? You know about Mia?
Of course, she became a lawyer in the hopes of discovering what happened to her mother. And lost her life.
Lost her life as a result.
You know what Mystic Mia is rumored to have said? She said it wasn't only because of her mother that she became a lawyer. She didn't want to fight with her sister over the leadership of the tradition.
Really?
Well, she saw that what happened to her own mother, Mystic Misty, and as she grew. I guess Mystic Mia got tired of seeing the rivalry between her mom and her aunt.
Yeah, Morgan. Big head Magoo. That's right, Mystic Misty had an older sister too. And Misty, having superior powers, managed to usurp the Master's seat from her.
Mystic Misty's sister is Mystic Morgan, as you probably know.
Morgan? That's a name I know well. It was a year ago today at Maya's home in Karine Village. And what she did was terrible. It was all so she could see her own daughter, the next master.
I suppose if you know about Mystic Morgan's daughter, then you must already realize that Iris.
Huh? Iris? What's Iris got to do with any of this?
That Iris is Mystic Morgan's daughter.
What? Iris is what? Is she kidding me? Iris is Morgan Faye's daughter? Come again? Did you say that Iris is Morgan Faye's daughter?
Oops, I thought you already knew. I sounded like you'd met one of Mystic Morgan's daughters already.
I have. I know her very well.
Oh?
Yeah, Pearl Faye.
But I always thought she was an only...
Oh, sorry, I'm getting my people mixed up. I always thought she was an only child.
You jest, that child? She's Mystic Morgan's? I had no idea. Mystic Morgan. But she's in prison now, isn't she?
Yep. Ever since she was found to be a co-conspirator in a murder case last year. Yep. There's Big Head Magoo. Has some impressive hair. The Fonz would be proud. It was all done to set Pearls up as the next master.
I see. I've been wrong all this time. Mystic Morgan had 3 daughters, not 2.
Wait, what? 3? Number 3, right?
Yeah, it's Iris, her twin sister, and Mystic Pearl.
What? twin sister?
Oh, you didn't know? It all happened 20 years ago. After the clan leadership was taken from her by her sister, Mystic Morgan's life crumbled. It wasn't many years later that the Corine's reputation hit an all-time low. When Mystic Morgan's husband realized his wife would never become the master, he left her in the village, taking their twin daughters with him.
How awful.
He was a jeweler, you know. In the end, he remarried, and that's when it happened. He decided to give one of his girls up to be looked after by us here at the temple. And that was Iris, you see.
It's unbelievable if Iris has a twin sister. Could it be? Well, it's all starting to make sense now. Could you tell me one more thing about Sister Bikini? What was the name of Iris's sister?
I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I just can't remember. All I can recall is that her father was a jeweler.
Well, that's a clue, I guess. A jeweler. Thank you very much. You've helped clear up a lot of details. Pearls had two older sisters, huh?
Yes, that's right. No doubt it was all because of Mystic Morgan's anger towards the main family.
Anger? What do you mean?
Her twin daughters were taken from her by her jeweler husband. But even that couldn't destroy her dream of that a child of hers would one day lead the clan.
That's why she had pearls? I mean, having a child out of spite, that is quite petty.
It seems that the incident here is a result of Mystic Morgan's anger. He was able to break free of the bars that confine her.
So Iris has a twin sister. The plot thickens. This information will be useless unless I can flesh it out a bit. I need to ask more questions and get some more info. I suggest we're going to probably give that to Edgeworth, but let's check if Gumshoe's in the courtyard before we do that. And then I can go back round. Sounds like someone's happy. What tune is that they're humming? No motive. No, sorry. What's his voice? No motive, no crime. No motive, no crime. Sing it with me. No motive, no crime. I remember when... I have no idea. I remember when we used to search in the chat room in Corrine. Oop, I love my job. Who cares if the clues and I find are no good? That's not what investigating's all about. Investigator investigates for the love of investigating. It's just a passion. Good causes we have, good cases we've lost. Along the way. I would have never guessed that Gumshoe was into reggae. See, how was I meant to know it was reggae? Cause every little case is gonna be airtight. Do 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 do. Hey, pal. Huh? Who? Me? How long have you been there? I just got here. Oh, okay. So what are you up to, detective? I'm investigating, pal. I made a promise to Mr. Edgeworth. Promised I would find the real murder weapon. The real murder weapon? Yeah, that Bob Soap thing turned out to be a false lead, right? Giving him my best shot here, but I still haven't turned up any clues. I just found these weird scraps of paper. It looks like a letter or something. Doesn't seem to have anything to do with a case, though. A letter? I've already investigated, so I may as well ask. So, how's the investigation going, Detective Gumshoe? I don't know if I should be telling you, pal. I guess it can't hurt. Looks like the murder took place at the end of Temple Garden. And they're taking that bloody writing on the lantern pretty seriously back at HQ. What? You mean? I don't have the details, pal. All I know is if you don't find Maya down in that sacred cavern, we're gonna we're gonna be faced with one ugly situation. What kind of ugly situation are we looking at here? Yeah, you got me, but I don't know. Not my words, pal. And who said it? Mr. Gatto. Gatto? What did he mean by that? By that letter you found. Don't remind me, pal. I'm busting a gut here trying to find the murder weapon. All I can find is this burnt up old letter. Burnt up old letter? Yeah, it was in that incinerator right outside the inner temple. The incinerator? I knew it! I knew I wasn't imagining it. Imagining it. If I could say words, that'd be great. Imagining it. There we go. There was snow on the incinerator when I first saw it. After the incident, the snow had melted away, which means someone used the incinerator on the night of the murder. What's up with you, pal? I got it right here if you want to take a look. Can I? Do you mind? Sure, go nuts. Don't want it, pal. You can have it. It's all spirit medium and masters and stuff. But it's got no relation to the case. Spirit mediums? It's gotta be important if it mentions spirit mediums and the masters. I better give it a good looking over and some serious thought. Make sure you chuck it in the trash when you're done. Littering's a crime, pal. Okay, what about the murder weapon? So what do you know about the real murder weapon so far? Hi Hannah, how you doing? I'm doing pretty good. Well, if it wasn't... If I could speak, well, if it wasn't the Shigashito, that was found impaled in the victim's body. Mr. Edgeworth proved that in court today. Yeah, that's true. In which case, it must have been another blade. And that's why you're running around like a headless chicken trying to find out, huh? Yeah. And man, is it tiring work, but let me tell you something, pal. I'm no chicken. We got the feather of the forensics in our cap these days. We're using the department's secret weapons on this. Well, the secret weapons we used last time. Can I have the dog, please? Secret weapon? Can I please use the dog again? What's this secret weapon of yours? You wanna know? You gotta think scientifically, okay, pal? Mm-hmm. Alright. The murder weapon was a sword. Swords are scientifically speaking made of metal. Right? Any questions so far? No. I know what he's gonna say, but I'll let him look smart. So what's the perfect tool for the job? Ta-da! A metal detector. Raise your hand if you didn't see this coming from a mile away. Well, you wanna give a scientific investigation a go? Me? I've been using this thing for hours now. It's pretty boring after a while. Why don't you give it a try? I don't know. Why not? Come on, pal, it's good fun, I'm telling you. Alright then, I guess I'll give it a go. Like I said, the department's most advanced gadget, the absolute best. So sensitive you can make it cry. And so high tech you could skydive off it. Oh, bother. So now I'm gonna tell you how to use it. It's possible the real murder weapon is around here somewhere, right? Sure, that's what we're trying to find out. So first, let's turn the detector on. Oh, Cool, I got a thing. Next, move the detector around and give it a courtyard a good look-see, pal. Don't worry, this baby will let you know when you've hit something metallic. When that's happened, press the A button and give a good area, a good hard stare. This thing picks up metallic objects that are hidden too. Take a good look at everything and everything that seems suspicious, pal. Look, a ladder. That's a step ladder. What's the difference? Looks like a normal ladder to me, pal. Surely everyone knows the difference, I mean, pretty ordinary objects. There are plenty of guys like you always picking on the smallest details.
The vegetable store guy near me does it all the time. Even corrects me when I ask for a head of lettuce. Yeah, it's a cabbage, he says. Telling you the exact same thing. No, they're not. One of them is nice before you cook it, and one of them you kind of have to cook to be nice. I mean, don't think I've ever had raw cabbage. I cook it beforehand. You have to plant both firmly in the ground before they grow, don't you? Listen, you gotta take a step back and look at the bigger picture sometimes, otherwise you can miss a really important clue. That's advice from a pro, pal. Last person I need to take advice from is this guy. Oh. Just a pair of skis, nothing useful for Acacia. I'm actually pretty good on skis, you know, pal. Just love to fly down those slopes with my fur coat fluttering in the wind. Really? I had no idea. How good are you then? Well, better on skis than I am on skates, but not as good as when I'm on a snowboard. That's a pretty detailed answer. Oh, but you know what I am best at? Making mashed potatoes and gravy. The guy's losing it. Must be the altitude. Gotta get back to investigation. Oh. That's odd. This sled's made of plastic. There's bikini number 1 on the side. Maybe there's something under it? Hey, what's this? A badge? Eh, I've been hunting high and low for that. And she yours, detective? Everything's priceless to me, pal. A cop can't be a cop without his badge. Sure glad I put that dime in there now. How'd you manage to drop your badge here of all places? I know, I bet it happened this morning. I was playing around with his sled and stop right there. I don't want to hear anymore. Oh. Doesn't seem to look like anything here. Hey pal, all you gotta do is watch the detector and it'll let you... Alright. I'm not exactly a whiz of machinery, you know. This might be this. Yeah, it's a Shigashido with a gold statue. Wasn't a real murder weapon, pal. Yeah, I know. I just thought I'd check it out anyway. Oh yeah, reminds me. Do you know about this sword? It's supposed to represent the multiple branches that life can take, all ending as one. Yeah, I heard something about that. You know what I think about sometimes? What kind of life I'd be leading if I hadn't joined the homicide division. You think about that kind of stuff, detective? Of course I do. And I think about it a lot. Me as a traffic cop, me as a detention officer, me as the Blue Badger. So there's something to be said about the humor value of Gumshoe as the Blue Badger. Oh, found Summer. This is Mr. Nim's staff, isn't it? Scientifically speaking, they're usually made of wood. But the detective's reacting to it. Oh, but the detective's reacting to it. Yeah, but however you look, this thing is made of wood, alright? I don't bother investigating anything unless it looks like it might be metallic. Isn't the whole point of a metal detector to find metal where you can't see it? It's weird this thing is causing a racket. Here, let me take a look at it. Hey, hands off, pal. Examining evidence is a job for the... Yeah, the top's coming off. Well, what you've done, you've damaged a really important piece of evidence. Ah! Oh. It's a sword. Inside the staff. Is this... Could it be... the murder weapon? Well, it appears we might have found it. I never have guessed there'd be a sword concealed in the victim's staff. They call this kind of thing a sword cane, pal. It's one real gem. Workmanship is really something else. Thank goodness it wasn't a cane sword. Well, the victim would have stabbed her own foot. I officially give up on trying to figure out how Gumshoe's mind works. This is the real scene of the crime. It was the inner temple garden. And why was the sword used to kill the victim found in the main hall courtyard? Hey, Gumshoe. Who knows about the hidden sword? No one. Not even the police didn't know about this until I discovered it just now. Well, as they say, there's no team in Gumshoe. Doesn't look like there are any traces of blood on it. Guess this isn't the murder weapon, huh?
No, 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 no. I'm sure someone just wiped it off after the murder. Yeah, of course. That thing's definitely the murder weapon. Great job, pal. About the same length as the Shigashito, too. Well, this must be the murder weapon. I'm gonna run over to forensics. I'm gonna get some traces of blood left, and even if... There's gotta be some traces of blood left, and even if most of it has been wiped off. See you later, pal. Well, every case is gonna be airtight. Oh. Every little case is gonna be airtight. I imagine that's what. Wait up, detective. Eh? What is it, pal? Pretty busy guy right now, you know. You're going to get that stuff analyzed, right? Would you mind holding off just for a while? Yeah, what are you talking about, pal? Please. Just until we find Maya. Yeah, Maya? What's this got to do with her? I don't know, but I'm starting to get a really bad feeling at the pit of my stomach. Oh, how so? Look, Maya's trapped inside the secret cavern right now, and... Well, we don't even know if she's okay or not. So the more evidence and testimony I hear, the more uneasy I feel. You don't think? Maya's been... Please, detective, just... wait until we get inside the sacred cavern. You're looking kind of riddy in there. Okay, just stop with that face, pal. One thing, though. The staff's secret trick, let's keep it between you and me, alright? Gets out that we knew about it and we didn't say anything, we're finished. I understand. It's just a regular run-of-the-mill staff, you got it? Okay, now you take good care of it, pal. Thank you, detective. Don't worry, she'll be fine. Gumshoe? You know, there's a place at the base of the mountain that has some really good pasta. How about I take you there when I find Maya, huh, pal? Sure, thanks. He's a good guy, good old Dick. Can't help but wonder, though. What was at least Nim doing with a staff like this in the first place? Probably not gonna get anything more from Gumshoe. Probably not gonna get anything more from Bikini. I don't think I have enough to get pearls yet, but I do think I have enough to talk to Edgeworth again. Right, you. Oh yeah, I forgot to talk to these. Be careful. Once night falls, she'll be there. As soon as you hear the lights out bell, you must channel her spirit. Give everything to her. Her name is she's our the whole Here's a picture of her. Use it when you channel her. I know you can do it. Once this is burn the and may also make tell none about this letter. Bravely roast the master in the fires of Hades and bring our vengeance to fruition. Well, let's talk to her about this person. Edgeworth, did you know that Iris has a twin sister? What, a twin? You can't be serious. Sister Bikini told me, but the problem is she didn't know the name of this twin. There's nothing about Iris having a sister in the files I checked. Well, Iris was taken in by the temple when she was really young. Apparently her sister was raised by her father, a jeweler, I think. A jeweler? Right, I just might know who this twin sister of hers is. I had a feeling you'd say that. Let me guess. Her name is Dahlia Hawthorne, right? Yes, exactly. Please tell me what you know about her, Edgeworth. Please. It was my first court case 6 years ago. I was a greenhorn due to my inexperience, but the defendant died. You're talking about Terry Falls, right? You know about that case? You're not the only one who noticed something about Iris and Dahlia Hawthorne. I checked one of Mia's old files from 6 years ago. Yes, Dahlia was a key witness in that case. Dahlia and Terry Falls conspired together to stage a fake kidnapping 11 years ago. Oop. They stole a jewel worth $2 million from Dahlia's father, a jeweler. And 5 years after that, she murdered her own sister, Valerie Hawthorne, to keep her from talking. Her sister? Well, her stepsister, actually, but they weren't blood-related. Valerie is the only daughter on her father's second... only daughter of Dahlia's father's second wife. Oh. This is where she entered my life. The woman who tried to kill me. So after Terry Falls died, what happened to Dahlia? Did you check that out? Does it really matter? Like I said, Dahlia isn't connected with this case. Why are you so sure about that? It's simple. Dahlia Hawthorne is dead. What? Well, her metabolic processes are a matter of interest only to historians, so to speak. Can you just say she died? What do you mean by Dahlia Hawthorne is dead, Edgeworth? Right, I must confess that in reading her file, I came to know of the murder case you were involved in during your college years. Well, now we're on each other's page. Dahlia Hawthorne was found guilty. Thanks to the persistence of Mia Fey. Mia Fey? Mia Fey? At that time, Dahlia, it's like she was possessed by a demon or something. It's been almost 5 years since that guilty verdict was handed down. Her sentence was finally carried out. She was executed last month. Executed? I'm sure that's a bit of a shock for you, right? And for more reasons than one. You understand now? She can't possibly be connected with this case. She's dead, and once someone is dead, there's no way to revive them. There's no way to revive the dead. I wonder. Seems you're not aware of one other connection yet, Edgeworth. And what is that? It's about Iris and Dahlia Hawthorne's mother. What's their mother got to do with any of this? She's Morgan Fey. Spirit medium from a branch family of the Karayan channeling technique. Did you say Karayan channeling technique? Do you know something about it? Oh yes. I know it's connected with a fraudulent spirit medium. Fraudulent? I was involved in another nightmare 17 years ago. I was caught up in the middle of a murder investigation and the police didn't have any leads. They were stumped and that's when they called her in. She's a very famous spirit medium and the master of her channeling school. Do you know what happened? As a result of her efforts, an innocent man was accused of murder. And she and her powers, they were all fraudulent. Edgeworth. Go to the police records room, it's all there. All you need to do is look under DL6 incident case file and you'll know. Of course, how could I forget? Edgeworth was the victim in that case. Well, his dad was. Edgeworth, you'll understand someday. And then you'll see that the Karayan channeling technique is real. Okay, well, since we've got that, I believe we can move to the training hall and Round 2, Iris. I had you on the ropes last time, but this time I think I've got you. So we'll just blast through this because we've been here already. Because this person saw you somewhere else the night of the murder. That was Bikini. Blast through this. Again, one of these has been done. And for if this doesn't add up with your testimony, which is this. Because I saw her when she just before she rang the bell, and she gave me the hat. Little explanation, there were 2 of you. You can't be in 2 places at the same time. And show me their evidence that there is more than one of me. Boom! Dead sister. I have a firm grasp of the situation now, Iris. You have a sister, don't you? A twin sister, perhaps. That's right, Dahlia Hawthorne. A woman I know only too well.
I had no idea you knew of her. Very impressive, Mr. Wright. But she's no longer.
Yes, I know. Her sentence was carried out recently, wasn't it?
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
There's no need to explain now, is there, Iris? The second you was at this temple on the night of the murder, it was your twin sister, Dahlia Hawthorne.
But you just said it yourself a second ago. My sister's dead. Have you forgotten that?
Have you forgotten this, Iris? This is a channeling dojo, a training ground for the Crine channeling technique. That night, someone channeled Dahlia's spirit, and you knew about it. And that's the secret you've been trying to hide from me.
Ah.
Okay, and there's one down.
I was in my room in the main hall that night. As soon as I heard I'd been spotted at the inner temple, I knew. I knew it was my sister, Dahlia, the other half of me who passed away last month.
Just as I suspected. The Iris that Sister Bikini saw at the inner temple on the night of the murder. It was Dahlia Hawthorne. Why didn't you tell me this before?
Because my sister always does the right thing.
Excuse me?
Because I mustn't get in the way of what she's trying to do. I already betrayed her once before. I can't do it again.
You betrayed her? What do you mean?
That's why I have to accept I may be found guilty. It's the only way.
What is she talking about?
You know about it, don't you, Mr. Wright? About the fake kidnapping that took place here on Eagle Mountain 11 years ago?
Yes.
That was the start of it all. What started her down that twisted path. She started to commit crime after crime, and in the end, she lost her life. It's all because I betrayed her.
How did you betray her, Iris?
There's no coincidence that Eagle Mountain is where the exchange was to take place. After all, I helped plan the whole thing.
What?
I got scared, so I ran away.
What are you talking about? Why would you help her? Stealing $2 million from your own father? That's awful.
But I promised that I'd help. And she didn't do it for the money.
Huh?
It was revenge on our father.
Revenge? What do you mean by revenge?
He was a hideous man. He threw our mother away and sent her to hell.
Her mother? She must be talking about Morgan.
Our mother was the eldest daughter of the main branch family of the Fey family. The main family has a lot of influence in many businesses and political circles at the time. As the eldest daughter, our mother was set to inherit all of that and become the next master. That's the reason our father married our mother in the first place, for power. But his plan backfired because our mother's sister took it all from her, took over as the master of the Karayan.
That would be Misty Fey, Maya's mother.
But before long, the credibility of the Karayan tradition had hit rock bottom. The new master, Misty Fey, made a terrible mistake. It was during the investigation of the DL6 incident. After that, my father took me and my twin sister away, leaving our mother and our home behind. He hated that place. He said it was a hick dive and he had no reason to stay there.
And that's when you came here to Hazakura Temple?
Yes. The woman my father took as his next wife already had another daughter, Valerie. I had no place in his new family, you see.
Oh.
I haven't seen my mother once since then. Having the master's seat stolen from her and being rejected by her own family. I heard she's been very battered spiritually and emotionally.
I think I'm finally beginning to see how the pieces fit together.
I have asked her everything I can in my capacity as a prosecutor. This incident, everything related to it goes back to the history of the Fey clan.
That's what it looks like. Iris, there's just one more thing I want you to tell me.
What is it?
During the incident in which your sister Dahlia Hawthorne poisoned a lawyer, she began a relationship with a certain college student in order to hide the evidence. That college student, have you heard anything about him?
Well, I did hear one thing. She said she hated his guts.
Great. It's just a kick in the balls for me. Okay, I see. Thank you for your help. I'm just gonna go and jump off the path round there. And, I'll see you guys in the next live.
You're welcome. Hurry up, Phoenix Wright. There's still much to investigate. Leave these locks to me. I'll open them for you, I promise.
Thank you. I suppose I'd better continue my investigation. There's still one giant secret left to unlock. Pill Cyclock. Which we'll be doing right now. In a temple. Suspension bridge. Heavenly Hall. Please don't tell me she's gone. Look at that, they really did make a fire right in the middle of the shack. Right in front of the shack, sorry. Well, middle of the shack could be a fire hazard.
Mr. Nick.
Heh, you're too late, Nick. You came here for one of our potatoes, I've already polished them all off. I think I pretty much got all the evidence I need. Now I just need to find out what Pills is hiding. Alright, 9-year-old, I'm going to subject you to some harsh interrogation. And you will tell me what you know. After dinner on the night of the murder... Oh, can we just blast through this bit because we've already done the first one. Go here. And because of Maya. Get it over with, come on. So close. Let's go temple. Then she had the bells. I think I know the reason you were worried about that, and that's because of this. Was it something saying about the bells here? Once you hear the lights out bell. Yeah, it's this. You were given some instructions to follow that night, weren't you? presume you recognize these pieces of paper?
Ah, where did you...
In the incinerator in a temple. Pearls, you were following the instructions in this letter that night, weren't you? That's why you couldn't afford to miss the sound of the lights out bell.
I'm speechless, Mr. Nick. You're amazing.
Thank you, Pearls. Still got 3 to go. These instructions that were found in the incinerator, I believe they were written for you, Pearls.
For me, no.
As you can see, a large portion has been burned. The last section is still fairly legible. As soon as you hear the lights out bell, you must channel her spirit. Who was it, Pearls? Whose spirit were we supposed to be channeling? Taking into account the author of the note and the purpose for writing it. Whose spirit Pearls should have been channeling? Whose spirit would Pearls be channeling? Whose spirit Pearls should have been channeling? Probably a bit easier way to say it. You overthink it, Phoenix. It's pretty obvious who Pearls were trying to channel. The person you were trying to channel that night, later Pearls, was... It's your girl. Dead sister. It was Dahlia Hawthorne, wasn't it? That was the name that was in the letter.
Ah,
Just as I suspected. It wasn't Iris who Sister Bikini met at the inner temple that night. It was Dahlia Hawthorne. Do you know anything about her, Pearls? Do you know what kind of woman Dahlia Hawthorne was?
no. Never heard of anyone by that name before reading those instructions.
I thought so. Pearls doesn't have a clue. She doesn't know that Dahlia Hawthorne is her sister. About the instructions in the letter I found, Pearls. Who wrote them? Whoever it was asked you to channel the spirit of someone you'd never even heard of. You must have had quite a lot of respect for them. After all, you followed their instructions without question. Here's my next question. Who wrote this set of instructions for you to follow? Evil lady. Pearls, I have to wonder about something. You didn't have any idea what these instructions meant, did you? But you followed them to the letter regardless. Why, because it was your own mother who asked you, that's why.
How did you...
I figured it out. Didn't she show this to, It's only because that last page when she said gravely, I only remember this, because isn't she showing Morgan to read it to her later on? The person who wrote this letter to you was your own mother, Morgan Fay. I just remember gravely being read out by Misty, sorry, or at least Nim when Pearl was asking her to read something. All right, Pearls, it's time you started telling me the truth.
Mr. Nick,
That's why she's holding back from me. I don't like this.
You don't understand, Mimi. It's because I'm a child.
Huh?
You're trying to say I follow these instructions? I'd like to see some proof.
What?
Because I don't think you have any.
Didn't say anything about anything rather than admit to carry out those instructions. I'm guessing I'll have to produce more evidence then. One thing should do it. Alright, Pearls. You know someone carried out the instructions on the night of the murder. And you're right, because there's no evidence that proves it was you.
I knew it.
However, I do know whoever did it was a child.
Huh? How do you know that?
Could have been an adult. No adult would have made a simple mistake like that.
A simple mistake? What do you mean?
I'm sure you thought you were carefully following the instructions you've been given. I know why. And it's quite funny, actually. Okay, and I'm going to present this. It's covered in gravy. And I've just said the note. Said gravely. Did she misread? Is that why she was asking for help? It was you who splattered gravy on this hanging scroll, wasn't it?
Huh? What? Why would I do something like that?
Do you remember what was written in that letter? Last page? Bravely roast the master in the fires of Hades and bring their vengeance to fruition. But you didn't know how. You didn't know how to read the words gravely and roast among others, right?
How do you know that?
Because you did it with Elise the night before. I remember, and it's been a week. So you definitely, for Phoenix, definitely remembers. It was like the night before. Remember the conversation you had with Mr. Nim on the night of the murder?
Perhaps we can read somewhere. We can read some. Perhaps we can read some books together. Really? I'd love to. I am not very good at reading.
Well then, would you like to practice reading with me?
Miss Elise? So for example, how do you read this?
It says, bravely. That's kind of a tough word. Sure, Mr. Nim taught you how to read bravely and roast, but didn't teach you what they meant.
Bravely sounded like gravely to me, and the only roast I could think of was the food. So that's
why you did it? That's why you covered the picture of the master in gravy for that night's pot roast?
Be honest, I did think it was a bit strange. Guess I really did get the wrong idea.
Just a tiny bit.
Really am useless. Couldn't even burn the letter properly as my mother had asked of me. Such a simple thing, and I couldn't even do it right.
And down she goes.
After dinner that night, I did go to the inner temple with a pot full of leftover gravy.
The gravy?
I saw the picture on the hanging scroll near the sacred cavern. Sure, it was the master of crying like it said in the letter.
I see, and then?
Well, it was already way past 10 when I got there because of all the snow. I went to the inner temple guest area.
The guest area?
Yeah, I thought I could wait there until the training was over.
Why don't you just go through the training hall?
That Mystic Maya's training had already started and I couldn't interrupt it. So I stayed where I stayed where I was and prayed for her to get through it. But then
Pearls, did you fall asleep?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I just couldn't help it.
You don't worry about it, Pearl. Who cares if you fell asleep? I fall asleep waiting for Iris too. It happens.
Anyway, then
you found yourself trapped at the inner temple?
Yeah, when I woke it was morning. I tried not to cry, but Dusky Bridge wasn't there anymore and there was no one in the training hall. I thought everyone had left me because I overslept. Put a letter in the incinerator and I heated up the leftover gravy and
let off some steam by chucking the gravy on the scroll while you cried? Makes sense. Must have been pretty scary for you, Pearl. I know what it's like. Nick used to leave me behind when I fell asleep at school too. Don't equate something so trivial with her experience, Larry. Okay, and what about your lost powers?
it was written right in my mother's letter. Soon as you hear lights out, you must channel her spirit. I was on my way over to the inner temple when I heard the bell ring.
So you channeled Dahlia Hawthorne's spirit?
No. I tried, but I couldn't do it.
You couldn't do it?
I never failed at channeling someone. This is the first time it's happened. I tried and I tried and I tried. Yesterday, this morning, the whole time. I just couldn't do it.
Don't let it get you down, Pearl. It'll all work out. If you want, I'll come flying through the sky for you. Whoosh! Just like that. So she never managed to channel the spirit. Is that why you think your spiritual powers are gone?
Yeah, I don't know what to do.
Is there any other explanation for why you couldn't channel a spirit?
I suppose there's one other possibility. It's not very likely, though.
Could you please be more specific? Or please tell us what that is anyway?
It happened if someone already was channeling the same spirit.
Someone else? What do you mean?
Well, there's only one of each spirit, right?
Yep, it's like dating a girl, Nick. Can't see a hot chick if she's already taken. Well, you don't seem to get that message, Larry. Then that would mean, on the night of the murder, someone else channeled her spirit before Pearls could. Someone else channeled the spirit of Dahlia Hawthorne. Well, there's two people we know probably could.
I'm a failure. Didn't even grant my mother's final wish.
Her final wish?
Yeah, this letter. This is my last wish, she said. Make sure you follow the instructions carefully.
This letter. Definitely need to find out more about it.
My mother's gone to a place they call a penitentiary.
Yeah, I know, Pearls.
I visit her every month. And last month she told me,
the time we've been waiting for has come, Pearl. There's something I need you to do for me. I hid a letter for you at home before they brought me here. I want you to read it and do exactly what it says. It's for the good of the Fae clan, my angel. You'll be doing a great thing. Now listen very carefully, and I'll tell you where the letter's hidden.
my mother is always so nice to me. I love her so very much.
Yeah, my moms will do anything for their kids, right?
She said it was for the good of the Fae clan, so I knew I had to help her. I mean, Mystic Maya's part of the Fae clan, so it had to be good for her, too.
Oh, you sweet summer child.
That's right, isn't it, Mr. Nick?
I guess so, yeah.
There was a picture with her letter, too.
A picture?
A Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Usually a picture's enough to channel someone's spirit, but this time?
Pretty weird, huh? Like Larry knows anything about this stuff.
There's something else that was strange about my mother's letter. The seal on it was broken, as if someone had already opened it once before.
That sure is pretty strange. Someone had opened it already? Thanks, Pearls. You really helped me out.
You're very welcome. My mother is watching over us. I'm sure Mystic Maya will be alright.
Look at that innocent smile on her face. What am I supposed to say to her? Finally figured it out, have you, Trite? You finally realized how terrible of a crime being painfully oblivious is. Godot? Oh, Godot, whatever. The entrance to the sacred cavern looks like a freaking puzzle workshop. Guess he's talking about Iris and a luck-breaking effort. But it's all a waste of time. Why do you say that? Because Maya Fey isn't coming back. What? You don't know what you're talking about. How can you say something like that? It was your job to protect her, Trite. Just like it was your job to protect Mia. Two sisters caught up in the worst circumstances. I realize that, but, and you were the only one who was by their sides. You were the only one who could have saved them. But I didn't know anything about what was going on. What did I just say, Trite? Being oblivious is a heinous crime in itself. Tomorrow, we'll settle everything in court, once and for all.
Mr. Nick, is what that man just said true?
It'll be alright, Pearls. I'm sure Maya's still alive. You'll see for yourself tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right. I know I can trust you, Mr. Nick.
Can you, though? My dear Pearl, you've done so well, my child. My Pearl. It's better that you don't know what you've done. I knew this day would come for you. The blood of the main family is no more. Now finally, after all this time, the Master's seat is yours. My last great wish. It seems I was just in time. And that's where we'll cut it off for today. So, we've got the last ever trial. For what I remember, it's an extended one, and it's into a different chunk, so I might break it up into two. We'll see, though. It depends on how fast I get through it. But for now, I want to thank you guys for watching. For people on Twitch, we're about to take a small break and then go over to Paper Mario. But for people on Rumble, BitChute, and YouTube, pardon me, this is all streamed live from Twitch. There should be, if you ever want to watch live or interact with me like I have been doing today, you are more than welcome to, sorry. It's been all, my brain's a bit frazzled. If you want to do so, there should be a link in the description of every video that I do to the Twitch channel, as well as any other platform you wish to watch me on. I would like to thank you guys for watching one final time. Oh, and I forgot to say, brain's frazzled. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. It does help me out in the algorithm, and I do interact with the comments when I can. Now, without further ado, I'd like to thank you for watching one final time, and bye-bye.